In this video, we're going to talk about one of North America's most familiar, yet, let's be honest, misunderstood animals, the raccoon. These clever little creatures are way more than just masked bandits digging through our trash cans. They actually have a pretty complex life that I think is going to surprise you. So let's pull back that famous mask, shall we? We're going to find out what makes these animals so incredibly fascinating and honestly is so good at surviving. Okay, so here's the plan. We'll start with an introduction to the raccoon, then we'll dive into their life cycle. After that, we'll get into their secrets, social lives, see where they are all around the world, and wrap it up with some really cool fun facts. Sound good? Let's jump in. All right, first up, meet the raccoon, the clever mouthed marble. So, what exactly is a raccoon? Well, for starters, Procyon lauder, that's their fancy scientific name, is a medium-sized mammal. They're usually about 40 to 70 centimeters long and can weigh anywhere from 5 to 26 kilos. And that iconic mask, it's not just for looks. People think it actually helps cut down on glare, which is a huge advantage for their night vision. Okay, moving on, let's look at a raccoon's life cycle: diet, family, and survival. We're going to see how they live day to day and year to year. So, raccoons are total omnivores, right? They'll eat pretty much anything. But what's really interesting when you look at this chart is how balanced their diet is in the wild. We're talking 40% invertebrates, 33% plants, and 27% vertebrates. It's not just stark garbage, they have a really varied menu. And this just drives that point home. I mean, look at this variety. They're eating everything from frogs and fish to corn, nuts, and even bird eggs. It's this eat anything attitude that makes them so successful, whether they're in a deep forest or, your backyard. When it comes to family, a mother raccoon will have a litter of 2 to 5 little babies, and they're called kits. And yes, they're born completely blind and deaf. But you can already see the faint little markings on their famous masks. How cool is that? Now, this is a pretty stark difference. In captivity, a raccoon can live for over 20 years, but in the wild, it's a whole different story. Their life is way shorter and tougher. We're talking just 1.8 to 3.1 years on average. They're dealing with traffic, hunters, disease. It's a rough world out there for them. All right, let's get into the secret social lives of raccoons. A lot of people think they're just these solitary wanderers, but the truth is way more complicated and way more interesting. So, the big question is, are raccoons really solitary animals? And the answer is nope, not at all actually. Scientists have found they have these really specific social structures. For instance, females that are related to each other will often share a common area, and unrelated males, they might team up in small groups to defend their turf. It turns out their societies are often matriarchal, led by the females. Yeah, so it's this whole organized three-class society, as some researchers call it. You've got the related females, the allied males, and then solitary individuals. And it's those matriarchs, the leading females, who are really in charge, keeping the group stable. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Time to talk about raccoons around the world. This is a story of adaptation and invasion. So as you can see here, raccoons are originally from North America, but in the mid-1900s, people brought them over to Europe and Japan, either for fur farming or to keep as pets. Well, you can guess what happened next. Some of them got out, and because they're so adaptable, they didn't just survive, they thrived, setting up huge, wild populations. And when I say they thrived, I mean their numbers just exploded. In North America, we're looking at maybe 20 million or even more. But over in Germany, they have over 1 million now, and they're actually considered an invasive species. So, who are their friends, and who are their foes? Well, their allies are pretty much other raccoons in their social group, but their enemies? They've got a list. Predators like bobcats, coyotes, and great horned owls, but honestly, their biggest threats are humans, thanks to hunting and, of course, traffic. Okay, it's time for the grand finale. Here are 5 surprising truths that I think really show how incredible these animals are. First out, 3 years. With that, that's how long a raccoon can remember how to solve a complex puzzle. That is an amazing long-term memory. Next, they have super sense paws. Seriously, almost 2/3 of their brain's sensory area is just for processing information from their front paws. They get so much information through touch. Number 3, 180 degrees. That's how far their hind feet can rotate. This is what lets them climb down trees head first, which is a pretty rare skill. How about their name? The word raccoon actually comes from a Powhatan word, and it means animal that scratches with its hands. Makes perfect sense, right? And last but not least, raccoons have over 200 different vocalizations. We're talking chitters, purrs, growls, whistles, a whole complex language to talk to each other. So as these clever little creatures just keep on adapting and thriving in our world, it makes you wonder, right? How will a relationship with them evolve next? All right, that is it this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.